daisy chaining more than one mixer to the other to create more inputs, more line in, more line outs, more microphones to use in your setup with audio mixers. That's right. And I'm talking about budget audio mixers, something that is 50, 60, maybe $100 or so. Then if this is something you've been trying to do, then I'm sure you are, because I got a lot of questions about that specific feature in the comments regarding these mixers. So if you're curious about that, I'm about to resolve your curiosity. And can you do it? Does it work? Stick around, let's take a look. All right, Take It to Gamers, let's get experimental. Not really so experimental, because this is something that's been out since audio mixers have been around. It's not something that's commonly known or even probably commonly used, because, well, if you need more microphones, more audio channels, then you'd probably get a bigger mixer that has multiple microphone inputs as well as many channels, right? But today we're going to look at some audio mixers that are in the budget realm. That's right. I'm working with a few super budget audio mixers, 50, 60, but probably a little bit over $100. And those mixers are the Fifine SC3 mixer. We have the Maono C2 Neo, as well as the Maono AU AM100 audio mixer. That's right. Cheap to a little bit more on the more expensive side, a little bit more features and channels and such on the Maono side with the AU AM100. And you connect one mixer to the other to share, I guess, multiple custom buttons, multiple microphones and channels for your content creation, for your mixing. In our demonstration, we're using those three mixers, as well as the Maono PD200X and the Fifine K688, two of my very favorite budget dynamic microphones. I have done battles between all of these devices. So you can go ahead and check the links in the description, and in my channel you'll see reviews on each and competitions between each. The way I have my setup here is that I have the Maono AU AM100 as my main mixer, which is the one that's going to get the audio coming in from the other two mixers and getting recorded right now as you're hearing over my PC. So for all intents and purposes, the two smaller mixers, the Maono C2 Neo and the SC3, don't need to be connected to your PC to get the recorded audio from it. It can all get routed to the AU AM100. Let's get started. Right now, I am talking on the K688 by Fifine over the AU AM100, and I love this sound. This sound sounds pretty good, pretty clean, and I like the pickup going over XLR with this K688. I can sit back and it works almost like a condenser in that it has a bigger pickup, more gain, a little bit more gain than the Maono PD200X. And I have the C2 Neo connected from an audio jack, right? Which audio jack? You don't know. So from right now, I am going from the headphone out, or the headphone monitoring port on the Neo, over to the iPhone input to the Maono AM100. Yes, so that's the way it's picking it up. It's not working through any of the other ports. For example, going from the line out on the C2 Neo to the line in on the Maono AM100, that doesn't work. Now, the other thing that allows this to work also is that you need a TRS to TRRS cable. You can't have any other variation. TRS to TRRS won't work, and anything beneath that won't work. So looking at my Maono mixer, if I went ahead and pressed, I already have something preset, pre-recorded on one of the sound pads. Yes, where I do my actual recording, sound effects, little voice effects, and I made a statement. So just go ahead and listen to it, and you can see how the C2 Neo is routing its audio into my AU AM100 and recording over this recording right here over OBS to my PC. The C2 Neo is not connected to any PC or anything. It's just connected to power because the battery was dead. All right, so custom button A. This is the Maono C2 Neo audio mixer going from XLR out of this mixer into my Maono mixer, and I am monitoring via the Maono mixer. This is a little bit of amazingness. Now, looking at the C2 Neo and the AM100, they both have their own independent mics connected. And right now I'm speaking through the K688 into the AM100, but the C2 Neo also has a microphone connected to it, which is the PD200X, which we're going to activate right now. I'm going to mute the K688 and we're going to switch over to the we're going to switch over to the PD200X. So right now, this is the PD200X running through the C2 Neo into the Maono AM100 into my PC, recording both simultaneously. I can unmute my K688 and we have both microphones running simultaneously over two separate audio mixers, over one output, one recording. I have noise reduction going over the AM100, and that will carry over to everything that's daisy chained into it. Lowering the microphone on the AM100 does not lower the mic output coming from the C2 Neo because it's not what's controlling the audio level. But if I lowered the input coming from the aux port, which is the iPhone, right, then you lose audio. Noise cancellation also works from the C2 Neo. So you're kind of getting a double noise cancellation because the Neo is on as well as the AM100. So you might want to be a little bit careful with that. I am running strictly 100% off of my C2 Neo, and I can do everything on my C2 Neo, even though I'm daisy chained to the AM100, which is actually the thing that's recording over my PC, which is this recording you're seeing right now, Take It Easy Gamer. So this is sweeter than cream and jelly. If it did that on a bagel, it tastes pretty good. What is the other sweet part about it? I have Bluetooth on my C2 Neo, and I can use my iPhone to play anything, music, what have you. And that Bluetooth audio is going to route right into the AM100 and into my PC and record live. Right now I have a video of yours truly, and we'll press play on that. You can already synced. Plug and play your USB devices right on front of it. Comes with a 3.0 to 3.0 cable, roughly about 3 feet long. So just long enough to connect to your PC if it's mounted on your table and routing it behind your desk. All my techies and gamers out there wondering about how to make this work. If you're interested in the C2 Neo and you already have something like the AM100, then that's going to work. Now, we're going to go into the Fifine SE3. This is where it gets a little shaky because it's a little bit cheaper, I think, than both of these other two mixers. But if you have the Fifine SE3s, because you wanted to get into something budget and you didn't really need all of this weird stuff I got going on here. So let's dig a little into the Fifine SE3. Switching over to the Fifine connection, I'm going to connect the Fifine to the C2 Neo, which in turn is also routing its audio to the AM100. So we got a three-way daisy chain. Will it work? I have my doubts. So let's try it out right now. Here we are with the Fifine SE3, and there is noise feedback. You're getting a little bit of static coming from all these crazy connections, which this is not really meant to work this way. This is not something that was created and designed for these devices to kind of just do those things, though it does it with a grain of salt. As you can see here, the Maonos do it. The Fifine SE3 is not necessarily working properly. We're getting a little bit of noise in the line, right? A little bit of feedback. Could be some crosstalk between the cabling. Not sure what's causing that. You might have to talk to like the manufacturer or something, but either way, it's working, right? Maybe if I did some other rearrangement, try a different kind of cable to kind of kill the noise, a lot of things. So anyway, right now I have the Fifine SE3 connected via the headphone port going into the aux port on the C2 Neo. So the way this is working on the SE3 is that the audio is essentially going through the mic monitoring, right? from the SC3 into the C2 Neo, and the C2 Neo has the monitoring or the audio going into the AM100, and the AM100 is sending it to the PC to record what you're listening to it now. What you're listening to now, you get your auto-tune levels over the mixer here. You get your voice changers
as well, going through the SC3.
Full access of all the features built into the SC3, going into the Neo, into the AM100, into the PC. It's a long daisy chain.
I'm going to switch back because now you know you can go 3 ways. What? There you have it. Daisy chaining mixers together. This is just this scenario with these particular mixers. If you have another mixer, it may be very similar the way you do it, the way I did it here, but it could be different. You might have to experiment a little bit and check using the monitoring port and the line out port. And you saw on the AU AM100, I actually had to use the iPhone input jack, the 3.5mm jack for the iPhone, to get audio in from these other devices out here. You probably can get this same functionality if you're connected something like a Stream Deck. Yep, connect it to one of these mixers and get the audio coming in from your Stream Deck or controls and pushing that out to your PC. You may not get the buttons, the shortcut buttons, right? The way you use Stream Deck with like hotkeys to control your PC, because you kind of got to be connected directly to your PC for that to work. All right, so I hope this was helpful to y'all, and if it was, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you're into experimental stuff the way I do here, and looking into technology that you may be looking to purchase for your studio upgrades to better enhance your content creation, Tech is the Gamers. All right, and with that, I'll see you in my next fantastic video. Later.